Tonight, our borders are being overrun. Now more than ever, the borders of the Southwest are open and unprotected. What started the exodus? Who is responsible for the preteen and adolescent children flooding north? Is it the United States? Or how about the parents that sent them there in the first place? Candidate for Senator for the United States for the state of Texas, Rebecca Paddock, will join me later to discuss this issue and the possible solutions, plus your calls live. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you are on the air.
There is nothing in this world that can make or break your day like a comfortable pair of shoes. And if you're a woman like me, then the perfect shoes are as seductive as the perfect full-bodied wine coupled with a smooth, dark Belgian chocolate. Or a steaming hot bubble bath at the end of a long day. Let's be real, ladies. The perfect pair of shoes can even be better than spine-tingling, bone-melting, body-shivering. Well, you know what I mean. So, where do you get your perfect pair of shoes? Savvy Souls, where chic meets comfort at the intersection of satisfaction, swank, and trendy. Go to www.forsavvysouls.com for 50 to 70% off on the latest spring styles, or find them on Facebook today.
Hi! Now I know you hear Joe Rocks and the Dog on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, Eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Arriva da Firenze, Italia, Nesti Dante, il sapone realizzato a mano, ispirato al bel paesaggio fiorentino e agli incantevoli profumi delle colline toscane, splendidamente confezionato a mano in un'elegante carta fiorentina di ispirazione rinascimentale, prodotto rispettando l'antica arte italiana della saponeria, grazie al metodo Coltron. Nesti Dante rimane una delle poche compagnie nel mondo che continua a tramandare il metodo tradizionale di saponificazione. Tecnica, creatività e ricerca si incontrano con la nobile antica arte italiana della saponeria. Sapone artigianale, di fama internazionale, sapone di lusso. Per maggiori informazioni visita il sito www.nestidante.com.
Savino Wine Preservation System is wine preservation glassware. Savino is an easy-to-use wine preservation system that allows you to enjoy your favorite wines anytime without waiting for an occasion. Open any bottle with confidence, knowing that you can enjoy the full original flavor of Tuesday's wine on Saturday. For more information, visit us at www.savinowine.com. Today's wine, tomorrow.
Visit the website tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com. That's tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com, or click the link in the show page. tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com has what you need for your dull or faded tattoos. The secret for keeping your tattoo color vibrant and crisp is good skincare. If you exfoliate, nourish, and moisturize your skin, all your skin will look better. Exfoliating can brighten tattoos without using aftercare products. You can find all that you need to help your tattoo look its best at tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com. If you paid for the pain of getting a cool tattoo, take care of it, and tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com can help. Again, that website is tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com. Go visit today.
Open your windows, turn up the radio. It's the Lino Show. I'm a city girl from Boston, living the life in the burbs. Join me on Monday night on Live 365 at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Armed Radio Global. Join us for a mixed bag of entertainment, comedy, fashion, and fun. It's off the chain.
All right, welcome everybody. You are on the air. I'm Mike Allen, and this is the Armed Radio Global Network. Tonight's show brought to you in part by Pampered Paw Gifts. Now, I know your pet can be part of your family. I know my dogs are. They're part of my family. Well, I got one that sleeps with me at night. She's about 1/4 my size, takes up 90% of the bed. If you'd like to pamper your pet, go to pamperedpawgifts.com. And they've got treats and candies and bows and all sorts of fun stuff to buy for your pet. And they're one of our sponsors tonight. Also, strikehardgear.com for all your ammunition, pouch, storage, magazines, everything you need for the sporting and hunting shooter or tactical shooter. Go to strikehardgear.com. Another one of our sponsors tonight. Tonight's calls. Write this number down. You'll want it. You'll want to call in. 1-800-225-5041. That's 1-800-CALL-041. Get live on the show. Give me your take. Give me your opinion about what's going on. Later on in the show, Rebecca Paddock. She is the candidate for the United States Senate for the grand state of Texas, running against John Cornyn, the incumbent, and somebody else on the Democrat side who... we don't talk about that much. I forgot who it was, actually. She'll probably remind me when she comes on. But to start, we've got something's going on big time in the news right now. It's just another thing that the propaganda machine is using to polarize the citizens of this country, to be quite honest with you. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there right now. All this is another reason for the propaganda machines to polarize us as citizens of this country. And that's right now, if you've been living under a rock and haven't been around any newspaper or any TV, then you would not know that thousands of children from Central America are coming across the border into New Mexico, California, Arizona, and Texas, the 4 border states that border with Mexico. Of course, Sean Hannity and our Texas governor, Pointy Boots, we're down around the border, rolling around in a boat with machine guns, and everybody. Now, the left is painting this, of course, we're all bad guys. The left hates. If you're a liberal and you're on the left, I am convinced that you hate the United States. You just do. There's no other way I can really put a finger on it. You have the majority of representatives. You have a majority 186. That's what I said. Matt Hazley, one of our, what did I say, 1-800? 1-866-225-5401. I think I said 1-800. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Keep me on track here. Matt Hazley of Straight Talk with Matt Hazley, Mondays and Fridays, 9 p.m. Central, right here in Armed Radio. But anyway, back to what I was saying. If you're left and you're liberal, I just don't see how you, as a United States citizen, I believe that a liberal, if there was one Republican, only one, in any part of the government, everything would be that one Republican's fault. The Democrats are absolutely the masters at blaming everybody else, crying about everything that can't get done, yet they hold the majority and the presidency. I mean, you got the health care law passed. Thanks, by the way. I have no more health insurance. I'm back on the market trying to find something I can afford. You got that passed, but when it comes to everything else, all you want to do is complain about it. Complain about how the Republicans aren't lockstepping with you for some reason. Now, the Republicans have their problems too, but with this, it's amazing the extremes on both sides designed to divide us as citizens. This coming from military veterans against the Tea Party. Go like their page. I don't agree with them. They haven't blocked me yet. I guess because I'm a vet. But anyway, they just posted something that said, during World War II, thousands of children from war-torn Europe were evacuated to America and fostered by families. It was kindness. It was considered patriotic. It was a Christian and humane thing to do. How times change. Now the terrorized children of countries in the South of us are now being called scum and told to go home by Americans who think they are patriots and Christians. Home where many were raped, facing a slave-like existence and constant violence of gang and cartel wars. I'm beyond disillusioned and disturbed with the complete lack of empathy and caring for our fellow human beings. Children at the of human beings and children at that. Shame on you, America. That comes from a leftist. Here's what I don't understand. You know, Central America didn't turn bad like in the last month. You know, all that crap's been going on down there pretty much for decades. Back from the 70s, Che Guevara, Pinochet, all those guys. Okay, it just didn't happen like within the last month. But in the last month, thousands of children have been streaming across our border. Now, of course, you know, an already undermanned and underpowered border patrol is now expected to automatically know what to do with all these kids. I mean, the left is complaining about these kids living in warehouses and what's going on with you know, how they're not being treated well and all this. The Border Patrol is not a daycare center. They don't have, you know, why don't you, instead of getting on Facebook behind a computer and complaining about it, why don't you go ahead and get in a van and drive on down there with a couple gallons of water? Why don't you go take some of these children into your home? Now, I don't know what drove all these kids across the border, but I have my theory on what happened. Not only was this driven by the drug cartels, I also believe it was the drug cartels are working in conjunction with some terrorist organizations who have been trying to get into America. Trying to get something big, something where there needed to be a distraction. I mean, the Border Patrol is already spread thin. All they would need to do is be distracted by, a bunch of kids coming across that now they have to be taken care of because they can't take care of themselves to get something like, say, a dirty bomb across the border. And I said this on Monday Morning Brew. If you were listening to the show, then you'd know that my prediction is within the next 5 to 6 months, there is going to be an event equal to or greater than 9/11. And it was because of all these kids and all the divisiveness that our propaganda machines are pumping into our citizenry that we are so polarized that we can't see the woods for the trees. You know, people ask, how could 9/11 happen? Well, it could happen for a couple of reasons. One, we're so politically correct, which is our biggest downfall, by the way, is we try to keep everybody happy and don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We're so politically correct that even with the massive amounts of information that the government had, no one could believe the audacity of someone taking an airplane and flying it into the World Trade Center. It was an unbelievable scenario. The people weren't stopped at the gates because to do so would be racist and profiling. Now we have all these children coming across the border, and somehow, even with the majority in the presidency, it's the Republicans' fault. Somehow, it's the fault of these farmers and people that live on the border who are now overwhelmed with these children and have no place to take them or do anything with them. The government drops, $60 million on a resort in Texas to house these children in this resort, and then hired 650 people. And that's only 650 of the thousands of kids that are coming across. Pretty much one person per child. Now, you want to know where follow the money. Just follow the money. Think about this. If you're listening to me right now, and you have children, and you've been living in your country for decades, you're not young. You're 20, 30 years old, and you have kids. High school age kids, middle school age kids. What on earth would possess you to give them away to strangers, to ship up to the border of Mexico, to get out and walk across the desert with little or no water and little or no food? Your country's been crap for decades. What in the last month has changed? Well, President Obama, through executive order, has decided that he's going to lean towards amnesty. So everybody's rushing to get their anchor babies over here to get amnesty to become instant civilians, instant citizens of the United States. And once they become citizens of the United States, they can bring their families over. And once the families get over here, of course, then they'll be eligible for all the welfare that we have. So where does the burden fall? Because welfare is not free. Medicaid, Medicare, that's not free. There's no such thing as free Medicare. I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but I tell you right now, everybody's saying that the United States has trouble with their health care and that, other developed countries like Britain and Germany and everything have free health care. It's not free. They're getting taxed almost 80% of what they make is being taxed. Who do you think's paying for all these kids? Nobody expected all these kids to come across the border. There's nobody prepared to help. Nobody. And the Democrats would rather stand back and yell at the Republicans, and the Republicans, of course, aren't doing anything either. But everybody's standing around blaming each other and pontificating on the TV. Take those kids in. Come on, leftists. Now it's time to put your money where your mouth is. I don't see anybody caravanning down there with a bunch of tents and stuff to help these kids. You'd rather sit behind a keyboard and a computer. I personally think those kids should be turned around and taken back to their parents. I think an investigation should start to find out what motivated these parents to put their children in this situation. Now, it could have been a threat from the cartels who are being paid by Al-Qaeda, which is kind of where I'm leaning, to tell you the God's honest truth. I'm telling you, something's going to happen in the next 5 to 6 months. I'm thinking dirty bomb. I'm thinking a dirty bomb detonated in a small town in the Midwest. They're not going to go after the big cities anymore. They're going to make everybody feel uncomfortable. And then with the current propaganda of disarming America and disarming its citizenry, I'm telling you, you think it can't happen. Then that's why no one stopped 9/11. No one believed that something like that could happen, and it did. And here we are. Here we are, 14 years later, and we're still stupid. They're bringing stuff across that border like you would not believe. And those children are the smokescreen. The children are the thing. Are the decoy. They're the ones keeping us off balance. Being used by the cartels and the terrorist organizations. When we come back, we are going to have Rebecca Paddock live, and she is going to join us on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. You can reach me at 1-866-225-5041 or 1-866-CALL-041, and you can be live on this show talking to us. All you have to do is pick up the phone and dial, and write it down, make sure you memorize it. And you can come on and comment about what we're talking about. When we get back out of the break, we will be talking to Rebecca Paddock, who is the senatorial candidate for the state of Texas on the Libertarian Candidate for the United States Senate from the state of Texas, to talk more about this and anything else that comes up. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by PamperedPawGifts.com. Go ahead and visit them, and StrikeHardGear.com. I'm telling you, some of you guys are going to have to check that website out. There's a lot of good gear there. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm starting to trip over my tongue. As texts and messages are coming in, you can also tweet me at tired_lions_fan. Hashtag it Armed Radio. So I'll make sure I see it on my Twit deck. Or hit me up on Facebook. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you are on the air.
Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
We love your dogs and kitties. We love them, yes we do. So when you want to give a gift, a cake or treat or two, PamperedPawGifts.com is the place for you. Yes, PamperedPawGifts.com is the place for you.
Ooh, nice shooting. Hey, that's a sweet AK-47 chest rig. Is that multicam?
Yep, got it from StrikeHardGear.com.
Strike what?
StrikeHardGear.com.
Set your sights on StrikeHardGear.com. Tough, tactical gear for your Soviet-style weapon that's made in the USA. Affordable, plus a no-questions-asked 30-day money-back guarantee and lifetime replacement warranty. StrikeHardGear.com. Go ahead. Pull the trigger.
Glastic water bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for? Are you looking to buy prescription eyeglasses? Family owned and operated iFramePros.com is your online store for prescription eyeglasses. Select the eyewear of your choice from our variety of frames, fill out the prescription information, and place your order in no time. After this quick and easy process, you'll receive your prescription glasses in a few days. All major credit cards accepted. Visit us at iFramePros.com. That's EYEFramePros.com. See what you are missing.
Are you an entrepreneur looking to get your business off the ground? Or are you an established business in need of a plan to present to an investor? Keljo Solutions can provide you with the plan that presents you and your business to others in an organized, professional package. With affordable rates, we have the plan to fit your budget. Visit us on the web at www.keljo.net and watch your business grow.
Hi, this is John, Jay, and Mikey. Join us on the Hot Five at 10, Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. Mikey, Jay, what are we going to talk about?
Movies, love, fun facts,
jokes. We're going to talk about all this stuff. We're going to talk all over each other. So join us then, 10 p.m. Eastern, only on Tuesday nights, only on the Armed Radio Global. See you then.
All right, welcome back to the show. Joining me now, live on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, the candidate for the United States Senate from the great state, great republic of Texas. She's been on the show before. Please welcome Mrs. Rebecca Paddock. How you doing, ma'am? Hello. How are you doing?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How's the campaign going?
It's going. I'm making some progress. I'm seeing some polls bringing me up to like 9% of the vote, which is really good for somebody that's running on a Libertarian ticket. It's a good place to start.
Well, John Cornyn is way out ahead right now.
Yep, he is.
So you just keep chipping away at him.
Well, I knew it was going to be an uphill battle, but it's the right thing to do, so I'm doing it.
Well, we've got a lot of candidates from the Central Texas area actually running for one of his friend of mine, Jamie Blazia, who will be running for Attorney General. Of course, we used to be on opposite sides when I arrested DWIs, and he was a defense attorney for DWIs, so I got to know him quite well. trying to get him on the show, too. But, hey, big things happening now in our state. Now, let me give you a scenario. What's your take on this? I mean, I think it's a big smokescreen. I think something big's coming across our border. Is that kind of where you're thinking, or is it a political move, or what?
Well, I think part of it is probably a political move. My concern is, I've got several concerns, right? One concern is that there are potential terrorists coming across the border. Another concern is, similar to when I was a kid, and we took a lot of people from Cuba. What did they do? They emptied their jails and sent the people here, right? So do we have criminals from these countries coming in? That's a concern. There actually are small kids involved. So now these kids are hanging around with terrorists and criminals. What's happening to them, right? That should be a concern that everybody has. Where did these kids come from? Were they stolen?
Well, see,
did their parents really give them up? I mean, think about this. People that have kids, even people that don't have kids, if you've got nieces and nephews, what are the chances that you're going to just give your child to somebody and say, take them away to another country? It doesn't make sense.
Well, see, that's the point I was getting at. Is this just doesn't? I think this is part of a bigger deal. I think this is, of course, anytime kids are involved, the left is going to jump on it, and instead of doing anything productive, all they do is trash the right. I think they use kids because kids, everybody, can't talk bad about kids. And if you do anything against a child, you're automatically the enemy. So it's easy to be vilified. And I think it's a smokescreen for either massive amounts of drugs or a terrorist organization bringing something big across, and they needed this type of polarizing event to not only polarize us as citizens, but take up a lot of the Border Patrol's time dealing with it so they can get across with something big.
It's possible. I don't know that it's that. I don't know that it's organized in that direction.
That's just.
I don't have any data to back that theory up.
Well, that's just a gut feeling. Just as a military mind. I think military mind. I've got. Because it just doesn't, like you were just alluding to, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, if I'm a father of two wonderful children, when they were in middle school, I would not think to put them into the hands of a stranger to be shipped hundreds of miles away from us, out of touch, don't know what's going on with them, have no sort of communication with them, so that they could walk hundreds of miles across the desert with little or no food or water into the United States. I can't understand the thought process. I mean, a parent would have to be under duress, I would think, for that to happen. And then, it's not like Central America just fell to pieces in the last month. I mean, Central America and South America and Mexico, they've been train wrecks for decades. I mean, just look at all the stuff that was suppressed during the soccer, the World Cup, with the things that were going on in Brazil. Displacing whole neighborhoods of basically transients, cleaning up the place so they could host the World Cup. I mean, Central America is under the rule of some despots and the cartels. So it's not like this just didn't happen overnight. So all of a sudden, all these kids, there's something going on. I think there's something deeper going on.
Well, the other thing is apparently the coyotes, the termed coyotes that are bringing these kids here, are charging, I have heard, $7,000 a kid. Now, where did these parents get $7,000 a kid if they are truly living in the situation
in
that
poverty?
We've been told?
Exactly. Where's the money going? That's why I'm saying follow the money. Follow the money.
So I believe, in my opinion, that what we need to do is we need to shut the border down. Our southern border needs to look like the Mexican southern border. Have you seen pictures of it?
Yeah, with the double fences and the barbed wire. Yeah, of course.
The solid fence, and it's patrolled. And it needs to look, that's what our fence needs to look like. And anybody that's here illegally needs to go through the process, including being fingerprinted, the whole bit, so that we know who they are, so that if they come back, the consequences are much worse. They need to be sent back home. All of the costs associated need to be billed to their home government. In this particular case, with this kind of stuff happening, I'd say 50-50 with Mexico, because Mexico bears responsibility. So bill them, cut off all funding, and tell them to clean their acts up. If they do not want to clean their acts up, then they can deal with it. Maybe they can go to the UN for help. If they've got, problems with, maybe they can go to the International Red Cross. But it's not our job to take care of that. And if it is going to be our job to take care of that, then they are no longer sovereign nations. That's what it boils down to.
Well, that makes sense.
The thing is, I am libertarian, right? And so with libertarians, we talk a lot about, personal boundaries. And the non-aggression principle has to do with you not entering my personal boundaries. Well, we have private property rights in this country. It's the same thing. You have the right to bar the door to your home. I am not allowed to come break into your house. It's illegal. The truth of the matter is the border around the United States is the border of the United States property. It is our property as a nation. Other citizens, other people from other countries do not have any more right to cross that border than somebody has the right to cross the border to your home. And if they do, that's called an invasion. If you want to knock on the door, you know what? I might let you in. If I come and knock on your door and politely, you'd probably welcome me into the house. You know what? We have those processes here in the United States. It's called immigration. And there are people that immigrate legally on a regular basis. That's knocking on the door and being welcomed in, as opposed to bashing the front door down as a criminal and invading. They're two very different things.
Now, I was a police officer for the Austin Police Department. Austin and Travis County is what's called a sanctuary county. And for those of you who don't know what that means is they have a they don't extradite. They don't deport. So if someone who's illegal gets in trouble with the law, which a few do, and they get arrested, they do not get turned over to ICE. They do not get deported. It's a sanctuary city. There's a 65% chance that if you get in a car accident, the person you get in a car accident with will not have a license, insurance, or any way of identifying them or even tracking them down if they leave the scene. And that's what a sanctuary city has gotten us into. A lot of these folks, since they're undocumented, the biggest frustration for me is they'd hand over these ID cards that were all worn and you could barely read them, and they're all in different, from San Salvador and Mexico, and the matricular card and all these other forms of ID. And we were told as police officers, well, that's not good enough. They need to have a Texas ID. Well, if they didn't have a Texas ID, you can't write them a ticket. You can't do anything with them. And they're just walking around, and they're paying no taxes, working cash jobs, and there's just so many. I mean, you're never going to catch and punish every single company that's hiring illegals. When I worked in Williamson County, we had a guy come in, and I guess his roofing crew or whatever crew he had got real drunk on a Friday night on payday and got in a big fight, so they brought about 6 or 7 in. He came, paid their bail the next day because he had to finish the job, and they went right down into the ice truck and left because it wasn't a sanctuary county. So he paid their bail so they could get on an ice truck and go home, go back to Mexico. It was 2 or 3 days before they got back across the border and back up. But, this whole thing with Mexico right now, we've got that young Marine sergeant who's in jail, not doing anything about that. One of our listeners just tweeted me and said, well, what about the helicopters, the Mexican Army helicopters that are flying into our airspace? What are we doing about that? I mean, it's just...
So I will tell you that, in my opinion, the Mexican Army helicopters, if they are coming across the border and if they are actually shooting at our citizens, I call that an invasion, and I would do whatever I could to make sure that we retaliate. And those helicopters were shot down.
Well, he didn't say they were shooting at anybody. They're just flying in our airspace. Because, the Border Patrol in Texas, I don't know what about Arizona, New Mexico, and California, but the Border Patrol in Texas is 40 miles behind the border at checkpoints. They're not even on the border proper.
They need to be on the border. They need to be protecting the border. And if we are being shot at, we need to be shooting back. I feel very strongly about that. We do not need to be putting the military or the National Guard or our police, firemen, etc., in positions where they're getting shot at and can do nothing to protect themselves.
Now, what do you think about the armed militia that are showing up down there that, of course, the left are painting as they're just can't wait to shoot a kid, which isn't true. I don't believe any one of those guys down there wants to shoot a kid, but they're augmenting the troops down there, and so far it's getting a tacit nod of approval by the governor, Rick Perry, and even the Border Patrol is like, yeah, come on down. And they're armed and they're on patrol.
Well, I'm not there, so I can't speak to it. The Border Patrol is there. Governor Perry is getting reports, right? I'm not getting reports from the Border Patrol. So I have not seen anything in the news that's saying it's not working. So based on all that, I'm going to say it sounds like it's fine. On the other hand, where is the federal government in this? This isn't just the Texas border. This is the United States border. There are very, very few things mentioned in the Constitution that that Congress is supposed to be taking care of. One of them is defending the borders of this country. Why do we have an army?
Well, he came down. President Obama came to Austin, had some, he had some good barbecue.
I saw that.
He didn't go anywhere near the border, but
I am very frustrated with the action that is being taken in D.C. that is unconstitutional, and there's a lot of it. I am also very frustrated with the inaction on constitutional issues that is happening in D.C. And this inaction is putting people in danger. We potentially have terrorists crossing the border. We potentially have gangs crossing the border. Now, have there been reports of both? Yes. Do I have any absolute proof? No. So that's why I'm saying potentially, right?
Well, that's just, like I said before, that's my gut. That's my military mind thinking. That's a gut feeling.
Right. Well,
that's
we've
a
got
gut feeling.
Crossing the border. We've got people coming across with all kinds of things that we are not prepared to deal with as a country. This is a huge nightmare for, just from that standpoint. Now let's add on our debt. And then taking a look at what all of this is going to cost on top of it. And whose problem are we supposedly solving? We're solving other countries' problems. Is it fair for me to walk into your house and steal things from your house so that I can deal with my problems?
So, I mean, what do you think? We've talked about what may be a motivation for these kids to have been crossed. I think it's money. I think the cartels are being paid by Al-Qaeda or a terrorist organization. I think it's a big smoke screen. But what can be done now? What is the right thing to do? I mean, these are kids. Kids are caught in the middle. They probably don't even know what's going on.
Let's be real clear. Some of them are kids. Some of them are not kids. Some of them are adults.
What would you say the ratio was?
So, I don't know, right? I don't have any facts and data. I have seen pictures of both. And when I'm saying kids, I'm not talking about a 17-year-old that they've shown video of that thought it was fun to torture people. I'm talking about kids who are 10 years old, right? Not gang members, not people that think it's funny to torture and murder people. And, if you're old enough to be doing that and think that's funny, I'm calling you an adult. So I've seen pictures of both. I think anybody that comes across needs to be handled humanely. They need to go through the process, as I said, getting photographs, getting fingerprinted, etc. They need to be sent back to their country, and their country needs to be built for it. And if Mexico was in any way involved, which for the majority of these things, I believe they were, you can split the person happens to be Guatemalan, split the bill between Guatemala and Mexico. Send them a bill for each person. You know what? I bet that stuff stops real quick. That's number one. Now, treat them humanely, right? I didn't say pack them up in a box and send them. Treat them humanely, but send them home. Number two, the border needs to be secured, and it needs to be secured properly. Number three, after that's done, we need to round up the illegals that are already in the country and do the exact same thing and ship them home and build their country. And if you want to come into this country, you come in legally.
All right, on that note, we got to take a quick break. I'm on the air with Rebecca Paddock, who's a Libertarian candidate for the United States Senate from the state of Texas. We're going to take a short break. We're going to listen to some commercials, and then we'll be right back. You're listening to On the Air. I'm Mike Allen, and this is the Armed Radio Global Network. Be right back.
Listen Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, to Night Talk with Joe Rocks, co-hosted by Jackie and the Dog on Live 365 Armed Radio Global. You'll never know what will happen or who will drop in, only on Armed Radio Global.
There is nothing in this world that can make or break your day like a comfortable pair of shoes. And if you're a woman like me, then the perfect shoes are as seductive as the perfect full-bodied wine coupled with a smooth, dark Belgian chocolate. Or a steaming hot bubble bath at the end of a long day. Let's be real, ladies. The perfect pair of shoes can even be better than spine-tingling, bone-melting, body-shivering. Well, you know what I mean. So, where do you get your perfect pair of shoes? Savvy Souls, where chic meets comfort at the intersection of satisfaction, swank, and trendy. Go to www.forsavvysouls.com for 50 to 70% off on the latest spring styles, or find them on Facebook today.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks and the Dog on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, Eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Arriva da Firenze, Italia, Nesti Dante, il sapone realizzato a mano, ispirato al bel paesaggio fiorentino e agli incantevoli profumi delle colline toscane, splendidamente confezionato a mano in un'elegante carta fiorentina di ispirazione rinascimentale. Prodotto rispettando l'antica arte italiana della saponeria, grazie al metodo Coltron. Nesti Dante rimane una delle poche compagnie nel mondo che continua a tramandare il metodo tradizionale di saponificazione. Tecnica, creatività e ricerca si incontrano con la nobile antica arte italiana della saponeria. Sapone artigianale, di fama internazionale, sapone di lusso. Per maggiori informazioni visita il sito www.nestidante.com.
Savino Wine Preservation System is wine preservation glassware. Savino is an easy-to-use wine preservation system that allows you to enjoy your favorite wines anytime without waiting for an occasion. Open any bottle with confidence, knowing that you can enjoy the full original flavor of Tuesday's wine on Saturday. For more information, visit us at www.savinowine.com. Today's wine, tomorrow.
Visit the website tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com. That's tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com, or click the link in the show page. tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com has what you need for your dull or faded tattoos. The secret for keeping your tattoo color vibrant and crisp is good skincare. If you exfoliate, nourish, and moisturize your skin, all your skin will look better. Exfoliating can brighten tattoos without using aftercare products. You can find all that you need to help your tattoo look its best at tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com. If you paid for the pain of getting a cool tattoo, take care of it, and tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com can help. Again, that website is tattoocreambrightener.blogspot.com. Go visit today.
Open your windows, turn up the radio. It's the Lino Show. I'm a city girl from Boston, living the life in the burbs. Join me on Monday night on Live 365 at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Armed Radio Global. Join us for a mixed bag of entertainment, comedy, fashion, and fun. It's off the chain.
All right, welcome back to the show. Just a reminder, tonight's show brought to you by StrikeHardGear.com. All your tactical gear for AK-47 style weaponry, shotguns, other rifles. It's pretty cool, actually. Check them out. StrikeHardGear.com. Also, Pampered Paw Gifts. You got a pet, you know you love it. Get it some cookies, treats, bows for his eye. I wouldn't do that to my dog, but I'd get some treats. Check them out at pamperedpawgifts.com. All right, returning to our guest, Miss Rebecca Paddock, on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. We've been talking about the influx of illegals, a portion of them children coming across our borders, just flooding across our borders. Now, this has just been something that's been happening in the last month or so. Of course, I said earlier, you know, Central America and Mexico have been a train wreck for decades. Why now? Why all of a sudden? What do you think was the motivation or the can that got kicked over that just started all this? What do you think's going on?
I think that there have been people crossing the border for a long time. It's been going, the numbers have been going up for a while. It's been a problem in Arizona, New Mexico. It's been a problem in California and Texas. You know, it's an ongoing problem. I think it's just gotten maybe worse. Maybe it's just now starting to get the media's attention. If I were going to speculate, that's all I would be doing, is to speculating as to the reason. I don't have enough facts and data. And as you know, I'm kind of a facts and data type girl. So I'd like to get some more information before I start to take a look at root cause as to why the timing happened when it did. As far as the root cause of why they're here, the root cause of why they're here is lack of leadership. Lack of leadership in our executive office, lack of leadership by Congress, and lack of leadership in Mexico, and lack of leadership in the countries in South America that these kids are coming from. It's a huge leadership issue, and obviously I can't address leadership issues in other countries. I can certainly have an influence, and you can have an influence on the leadership issues here, and that's what our priority needs to be.
So, it's been reported by the right-wing propaganda that all this was kicked off by an executive order from Obama hinting or opening the door for amnesty. Did you hear anything about that? I mean, I know you're in the process of campaigning to be the U.S. Senator. Have you got a thumb on your pulse of this, or is this something that sounds like it's a legitimate claim by Fox News?
I think anytime you mention the word amnesty, whether there's an executive order or not, I think anytime the word amnesty is mentioned, ears go up everywhere, as if you mention the word treat to a bunch of dogs, right? I mean, I know with my dogs, if I say the word treat, I have everybody's attention. You mention the word amnesty, and it's the same type thing. You get everybody's attention. And so I think even mentioning the word is going to get discussion started, and you don't know what happens from there, right? It's like a snowball rolling downhill. It gathers speed and it gathers mass. So is it related? Potentially. I don't know. I don't have the facts and data.
Now, of course, the big rumor out there that I've been reading, and I've been scrolling through here as you've been talking, is that the Republican side claims, or the right-wing side claims, that the Democrats are the ones that are heavily pushing for the rights of immigrants to actually vote in our voting process, not even have to be citizens. And, of course, there's always claims of voter fraud where illegals, since they get driver's licenses here, and there's too many to go through and vet every one of them out, are actually stuffing ballot boxes for local Democrat and national Democratic leaders. Do you think that holds water at all?
I mean, it is happening, right? We do know there are facts and data on that. There are facts and data that shows that people that are illegal have voted. There are facts and data that show that citizens have voted more than once. There are facts and data that we have had citizens fill out ballots using other people's names and stuffing the ballots that way. So there are facts and data that prove all of that. This is why it's so important that we have voter registration and voter cards, and that it's tracked. And you know what? The Democrats and other people have said, it's not just Democrats, but other people have said, well, not everybody can get a card. You know what? These people cash checks. They get on airplanes. There are a lot of things that you need to do to live your life in this country that require
an ID.
Government ID.
Yeah. Get a bank account. Get a job. Anywhere.
And if you are unable to get government ID, it's because you're probably not supposed to have government ID.
Now, one of the examples that's brought up that's and I mean, what we just covered is exactly what I say. I mean, you're 86 years old, and you can't renew your ID card because you have to actually go somewhere and do it, and that's voter suppression?
So here's the deal. You know what? You can renew voter cards without going anywhere.
Yeah, you just do it online. Or they do it by mail.
They do it by mail.
They make it so easy for you.
And these, someone that's 90 years old may not know how to use a computer, but you know what? They know how to mail things. They know how to do things on paper. They did things on paper before computers were everywhere.
And if they're 90, they got at least 30 great-grandkids that know how to do it for them.
Well, I mean, they may not have great-grandkids at all, right? They could be the last of their line. But if they know how to do things on paper, there is absolutely no reason that somebody can't show voter registration, proof of identity to vote.
Well, one of the big arguments is that women that they change their name because of a divorce, or they get married and change their name, and because they change their name, then they have to go back and get all their birth certificates and all this other stuff going on, and still, I don't understand why just by the fact that you change your last name through marriage, that all of a sudden now you are exempt from all other forms of ID when you go vote. I mean, to me, that would seem, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you need a...
Do you know that if you get married and you don't change your driver's license within a specific amount of time,
30 days.
You get a ticket for that?
Yeah, 30 days.
So explain to me why it is these women can manage to change their driver's license, but they are incompetent to change their voter registration. Exactly how does that work? I'm confused.
Every year or so, I get a voter registration update card in the mail, and I sit down with it, and I look at it, and it's pre-stamped. All you have to do is fill it out and throw it right back in the mailbox. It says if any of this information needs to be changed, change it and mail it back in. This is months before you have to vote.
Well, they don't send you a card once a year that says if you got married, change the name on your driver's license, do they?
No, but what I'm saying, they do it for the voter card.
Exactly. I mean, how much more easy can it get?
Well, this was kind of a short segment. We're going to come up at the top of the hour. Are you going to stick around?
Absolutely.
All right. We're talking to Rebecca I'm tripping over my tongue. See? It's from these late nights. I'm not even drinking. What's up with that? Talking to senatorial candidate for the state of Texas, Rebecca Paddock, from the Libertarian Party, and we'll be continuing our conversation with her about the current state of our immigration policies and practices and the flood of immigrants, some kids, coming across our southern borders. Plus, your calls. Call me, 1-800. No, not 1-800. Thank you, Matt. 1-866-225-5401. 1-866-CALL-401. Be a part of the conversation. We'll have you live right here on the air. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you are on the air.
Hand me down a walking cane, hand me down my hat. Hurry now.
Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
We love your dogs and kitties. We love them, yes we do. So when you want to give a gift, a cake or treat or two, PamperedPawGifts.com is the place for you. Yes, PamperedPawGifts.com is the place for you.
Nice shooting. Hey, that's a sweet AK-47 chest rig. Is that multicam?
Yep, got it from StrikeHardGear.com.
Strike what?
StrikeHardGear.com.
Set your sights on StrikeHardGear.com. Tough, tactical gear for your Soviet-style weapon that's made in the USA. Affordable, plus a no-questions-asked 30-day money-back guarantee and lifetime replacement warranty. StrikeHardGear.com. Go ahead. Pull the trigger.
Glastic water bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for? Are you looking to buy prescription eyeglasses? Family owned and operated iFramePros.com is your online store for prescription eyeglasses. Select the eyewear of your choice from our variety of frames, fill out the prescription information, and place your order in no time. After this quick and easy process, you'll receive your prescription glasses in a few days. All major credit cards accepted. Visit us at iFramePros.com. That's EYEFramePros.com. See what you are missing.
Are you an entrepreneur looking to get your business off the ground? Or are you an established business in need of a plan to present to an investor? Keljo Solutions can provide you with a plan that presents you and your business to others in an organized, professional package. With affordable rates, we have the plan to fit your budget. Visit us on the web at www.keljo.net and watch your business grow.
Well, hi there. My name is Val, and I have a show called Talk Time with Val that is at 7 to 9 Central every Tuesday and Thursday night right here on Armed Radio Global. We like covering every topic under the sun, whether it's what's in the news today or what's on people's mind. What's on your mind? If you tell me yours, I'll tell you mine. Join me from 7 to 9 Central every Tuesday and Thursday night for Talk Time with Val, the hot spot for the hot topics.
All right, welcome back to the show. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by StrikeHardGear.com. Go visit them for all your tactical needs for the AK-47 rifle and other rifles or shotguns that you may have. They got a lot of neat stuff. Also, PamperedPawGifts.com. The little treats and gifts for your pampered pet. We all know we do it. My German Shepherd sleeps in my bed. You kidding me? Be a part of the conversation. Go to Twitter at tired_lions_fan or just tweet something and hashtag it Armed Radio. We'll read it live on the air. Or you can give us a call. 1-866-225-5401. 1-866-CALL-401. We'll get you live on the air. Coming back and talking to us on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. She is the senatorial candidate running against John Cornyn in the Libertarian Party, Rebecca Paddock. We've been talking about the influx of illegals that are coming across our border. I kind of had my thoughts on it, and I think it's a smokescreen, personally. Either drugs, gang members, or Al-Qaeda is bringing over something big, and I'm guesstimating in the next 4 to 6 months, something big's going to happen. And then, you know what? I don't think it's going to be. I don't know if you heard the beginning part of the show, Rebecca, but I don't think it's going to be a big 9/11 World Trade Center like thing. I think they're going to go after small town America.
Yeah, I did hear the beginning of your show. I heard your monologue. Small town America is possible. It seems from a terrorist perspective, though, how much terror are they actually going to create in small town America?
Well, here's my thought process on this. The audacity of 9/11 is going to be hard to top. I mean, that, I think just the very thought that someone was capable of doing something like that really polarized the intelligence community into not doing anything. They didn't believe it could happen. Our arrogance compounded with their audacity. Now think about this for a minute. If I was a terrorist and I wanted to strike terror into the entire country, the big cities are the targets that you'd expect. Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston. If I'm going to set off a dirty bomb or someplace like that,